What is happening to the world? Last night, in images that are eerily reminiscent of 1939 Europe, massive mobs of Russian Muslims stormed into two different Russian airports looking for Jews to murder. The footage is horrifying. Here in Israel, the IDF is operating inside the Gaza Strip with tanks, bulldozers, as well as ground forces, taking out Hamas terrorists and destroying their infrastructure. As Israel is facing threats from both Lebanon, Syria, as well as Hamas in Gaza, they also have to worry about protecting their cities from terror attacks by the internal Arab population. The perfect example of this is the Arab terrorist who stabbed an Israeli border police officer just this morning in Jerusalem, sending him to the hospital with serious injuries. Now, despite all this craziness happening here in the land, many Israelis are looking to the future with positivity. Maybe that's why tens of thousands of Israelis have signed up for a party on the beaches of Gaza when the war is over. Stay tuned for all this. I'm Josiah, and this is the Israel Guys.
People who are calling for a ceasefire now do not understand Hamas. That is not possible. It would be such a gift to Hamas because they would spend whatever time there was a ceasefire in effect rebuilding their armaments, creating stronger positions to be able to fend off an eventual assault by the Israelis. So we're in a very different world. I don't think it had to be the world we're in, but that's where we are, and we've got to figure our way forward through it.
Yes, that was Hillary Clinton making a very common sense statement. Actually, I think she's been watching the Israel Guys because I've never heard her say that before. Anybody on the left of the political spectrum saying anything. So just, guys, it's plain and simple. You create a ceasefire with Hamas, they're not going to honor it. Every ceasefire that Hamas has made with Israel, they have been the ones that have broken it. And they're just going to use it to rebuild armaments and attack Israel in the future. Very common sense thing by, who knows, Hillary Clinton. Wow. Sorry for the sarcasm this morning. Guys, welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show today. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack. First off, make sure to subscribe to the Israel Guys. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. Would really appreciate it if you watch us and regularly come back to our channel. You hit that subscribe button. It helps us get the news out, get the information out to more people across the platform. Also, hit that thumbs up button and select the notification bell if you would like to receive notifications when we post a video. Also, you can join our breaking news Telegram channel. The link will be down in the description below. We're posting news from Israel on that chat as well. You can follow us on all of our social media platforms. Now that we're back on Instagram after being canceled and banned from it, we thankfully pulled some strings from people we know in high places, and they helped get our account restored. So you can follow us there on Instagram as well. Guys, before we get into today's topic, I wanted to tell you about our program, our operation. We are doing Operation Ittai right now for the nation of Israel. As you know, and as you've been watching the news for the last several weeks since the horrible massacre of Israelis by Hamas on October 7th, Israel is fighting, basically right now, they're fighting a war for their survival. And right now, our organization, the Israel Guys in Hayuvel, we have started Operation Ittai to airlift emergency supplies to the farms and small communities here in Judea and Samaria who are interspersed with these Arab populations that could flare up at any moment and something they could attack these communities. We really don't know. Right now, everything seems to be quiet, but the need is there, and these communities need emergency supplies. We're providing things like protective vests, things like helmets, night vision, binoculars, flashlights, and drones for these farms and communities here in Judea and Samaria. Guys, we're raising $29 million. We have airplanes lined up to bring these supplies over from the United States, and we need you guys to jump on board and help us, help the nation of Israel, help Israel protect her citizens from the evil threat that it is facing from multiple areas. So guys, go to operationittai.com, or click the link down in the description below and jump on board there. Also, you can go and check out the impact we have already had and the supplies we have already been able to bring over and give to those who actually need them. We'd really appreciate it if you guys go check that out. Link in the description below. All right, guys, as I was preparing to record this morning, there was a terror attack in Jerusalem, just near the light rail station of Shivtei Yisrael. An Arab terrorist came and stabbed a border police officer, sending him actually to the hospital with very serious injuries. Please pray for the complete recovery of that officer. The terrorist, thankfully, was neutralized very shortly after by another police officer in the area. I actually have a video of that. The guy was just walking up and was able to take out and stop this very dangerous, evil threat. Guys, Israel is under attack from multiple areas, not just from the north. Hezbollah has been firing several missiles in the last several days. Syria shot several missiles into Israel. Israel has been responding with airstrikes and taking out different positions in Lebanon and also Syria. There have been several infiltration attempts from Lebanon. So Israel's facing threats up north there, which obviously the Hezbollah organization, that could flare up at any moment. It becomes much more severe. They have, as we know, nobody knows the exact number, but they have at least several 100,000 rockets, missiles aimed at Israel. That could go off at any minute. So, guys, Israel's under a lot of different threats, but they also have to worry about these internal threats from the Arab population inside for terrorist attacks. So the Israel security forces are on high alert across the country, and so far have been doing a very good job of keeping their population safe. Please, again, pray for the recovery of this officer who is seriously injured this morning. All right, guys, since last Thursday and even Friday, they actually expanded it even more. The IDF has been operating inside of the Gaza Strip, and not just sending troops in to do a one mission operation and then bringing the troops back out, but they've actually stayed inside of Gaza. I'm not exactly sure the extent of the number of troops there, but a small force at least, with many tanks and bulldozers going in and destroying Hamas terrorist infrastructure, also taking out terrorists as well. So far, the IDF, since being in, has killed dozens of terrorists, many who actually barricaded themselves inside of buildings, and also terror tunnels that the IDF is taking out, attacking IDF troops while they've been in there. Channel 7 News reported last night, Sunday night, that, quote, IDF troops identified armed terrorist and anti-tank missile launching post in the area of Al-Azhar University and guided a fighter jet to strike that position. The Jewish News Syndicate reported, quote, according to the Israeli military, more than 600 terror targets in Gaza have been struck in the recent days, including weapons depots, anti-tank missile launching positions, and hideout and staging grounds. So the IDF is doing a lot. The spokesperson for the IDF has yet to make a comment on whether this is the beginning of the large-scale invasion that the IDF has been planning to actually go in and rid the Gaza Strip of Hamas, which is absolutely necessary, has to be done. Israel can no longer live with this evil, this horrific, as we saw what happened on October 7th, what evil could come from Hamas. And Israel has no option but to go in and take out that threat that is threatening their population. So we're not sure if what is happening with the IDF troops in Gaza right now, if this is the beginning of that ground incursion into the Gaza Strip to take out Hamas, or if this is just a preliminary mission that they're going to do, and then they're going to pull out again and continue with further preparations. We're not exactly sure, and obviously there's a lot of things to consider when you're going for a big ground invasion like the Gaza Strip. And as we've heard from Hamas leaders, the Gaza Strip is full of hundreds of miles of terror tunnels throughout the entire Gaza Strip. So it's a very, very complicated thing for the IDF to go in and actually root out every single Hamas terrorist and the terrorist infrastructure inside of the Gaza Strip. So we'll continue to pray for IDF's, the Israeli Defense Forces, as they defend the nation of Israel. But please continue to pray for them And we hope that that will soon take place, that Israel will be ready and they can go out and start rooting out this evil from Gaza. On a positive note, this video has been going around on social media that shows IDF soldiers inside of Gaza raising an Israeli flag on top of a house in the area. Now, supposedly, this is the first time since Israelis were expelled from the Gaza Strip in 2005 that the Israeli flag has actually been raised in the Gaza Strip. So rather significant as Israel goes back in saying, I think it sends a clear message to Hamas saying, hey, you're trying to destroy us. You're trying to, you try to murder us. You try to, to break our spirit. We are strong. We are the nation of Israel, and we're raising our flag inside the Gaza Strip. So that was a beautiful moment. Glad to see that happening inside of Gaza. All right, guys, I want to talk about what happened in Russia last night. And unfortunately, we've been seeing a rise in anti-Semitism in the last several years and even decades. It's been on the uptick. But specifically since the October 7th massacre, there's been a massive spike in anti-Semitism and protest against the nation of Israel all around the world. I mean, we're seeing videos and I'm not just talking about in Russia, and I'm not just talking about in the Middle East. I'm talking about all over the world, Europe and in Australia and South America and the United States. Massive protests, massive rallies in support of Hamas. Even after everything came out on October 7th and you saw all the horrific images and videos of what happened and heard all the stories and there's still protests in support of Hamas. Now, this is, for me, it's rather just, it's like unfathomable. I can't understand how anybody could still have their mind twisted, still not see the truth of what is actually happening here in the land of Israel. But there are lots of people, and the anti-Semitism has been on the rise throughout the world. But what happened in Russia last night was absolutely crazy. So apparently a flight from Tel Aviv to Russia's Dagestan region was headed to the main airport in the capital of that region area of Russia, and it was actually rerouted to land at a different airport because a massive mob of Russian Muslims stormed the airport. I'm talking hundreds of people. I mean, in some of these videos, it looks like more than that. It looks like it could be even 2,000 or 3,000 people stormed the airport, overran the security. And you can see this video. They're just filling the terminal. There's so many people running up the stairs, busting through security, busting down doors, trying to get out to where the airplanes are, looking for Jews. They're looking for Jews to murder. They're going through the airport. They heard this flight was coming from Tel Aviv. They knew there would be Jews on board, and they're looking for these Jews to go and find them and kill them. Some of the people there are shouting Allahu Akbar, you know, the common Arab phrase before somebody commits an act of terrorism to kill a Jew. There was one of the rioters was heard in a video taken. He was heard saying, quote, "We came for the Jews to kill them with a knife and shoot them." The intent of these people was blood. They wanted the blood of these Jews. So the plane rerouted to this other airport, landed at that airport, but I guess some of the rioters got news of where the airplane was headed. They reached that airport as well, overran it at the whole airport as well. The terminal actually busted out onto the tarmac, overran the tarmac. You can see this video, hundreds of people just running out across the tarmac, and they're literally going from plane to plane searching for Jews. Like, absolutely crazy. Since when has this happened anywhere in the world? The crew on the flight from on the flight with the Israelis and Jews on board from Tel Aviv, they ordered the doors of the aircraft locked, and then they basically just waited for Russian security personnel, the forces, to arrive and try to break up and contain this massive outburst of these rioters who were trying to come and get spilled Jewish blood here in Russia. Absolutely crazy stuff. Like, since when are we seeing massive mobs of people going out looking for Jews to murder? I mean, the only thing I can think of is 1939 Germany. Going around, mobs of people, right? That's what that makes you think of. Mobs of people looking specifically for Jews to kill them. I mean, this is crazy stuff. How can we be in 2023 the age of enlightenment, the enlightened world, the modern world. We have modern nation states. People say when talking about the Holocaust, oh, that will never happen. That could never happen again in our modern world. We're such civilized, enlightened people. How can this happen today? Guys, it's happening. It's literally happening. The events that led up to the Holocaust in the late 1930s, leading up to Nazi Germany's trying to eradicate the Jewish people from off the face of the earth, those same events are being mirrored, and they're happening right today in our world. And the question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit back like most of the Christian world did in the Holocaust? Like most of the Christian world just sat by and said, I can't really do anything to help, and it's too far away, and I'm not sure if the rumors are true, and all this stuff. Or are you going to stand up and actually do something? Actually get out of your house, go be vocal on social media, be vocal in the public, contact your representatives, contact your governments, telling them that they need to put a stop to this rise in anti-Semitism, to these massive riots that are looking for Jews to kill, this horrible outburst against the nation of Israel today. Another way you can help is joining projects like Operation Ittai, where we're bringing emergency supplies to the people who need them to defend the Jewish civilians here in Judea and Samaria, these farms and communities. You can join. You can donate. You can give. Put your money where your mouth is. You say you support Israel. Donate. Help bring those supplies to the nation of Israel in this great time of need. Israel is basically fighting for their survival with so many threats facing it. And we have the opportunity as Christians, as the Christian world, to stand up and help the nation of Israel today. Guys, on a positive note, before we close out the show today, I just wanted to talk about an Israeli here in Israel started a Facebook event for a party on the beaches of Gaza for the end of November. Now, despite all this craziness and the darkness that's surrounding Israel and the threats they are facing, Israelis are very positive as a general rule. And even right now, in this time of crisis for the nation of Israel, the whole nation is united. They're united to defend the nation of Israel. So this Israeli started a Facebook event for this party. And the event was hosted by a guy named Yonatan Schwartz and is planned for November 40th at 4 p.m. The title of this event is Beer at Sunset on the Gaza Beach, scheduled to take place on the West Beach of Gaza City. The description for the event reads, we'll meet for beer on the beach at sunset, marking the conquest of Gaza. The crazy thing about this is that as of this morning, over 45,000 Israelis had read or marked themselves as either interested or going to this event. So guys, that's the Israeli outlook on what's happening and all the crazy threats that Israel's facing right now. A lot of people are already planning a party for when the war is over on the beaches of Gaza, looking forward to being victorious against the evils of Hamas. Guys, please continue to pray for the nation of Israel through this time of crisis, and be proactive. Support Israel, support financially, pray for Israel, speak out for the nation of Israel throughout the world. Guys, don't forget to check out Operation Ittai, Christian Zionist airlifting emergency supplies to the nation of Israel. You can go to OperationIttai.com or click the link down in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and get the conversation going down in the comments. We love interacting with you there. And as always, remember, tune out the fake news and tune into what is happening in the land of Israel. We'll be back every day, Monday through Friday, with your direct connection to the land and people of Israel.